The Bengals continue to move through the season and want to find a way to secure win number 3 on the year. It's the Browns going up against the Bengals. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over, and they will be led out by their rookie quarterback. Carry of the game here for Trey Mason. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they?
Now the ball comes loose, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll drop the throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
A handoff to start the drive to Mason. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And here's the offensive unit, and we highlight a very good guy, A.J. Green.
Let's just make it simple. He's a game breaker.
Again, it's Mason. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
Three yards left to grab here on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Eifert has it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted them to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
So on fourth down, here's Matt Darr to kick it away.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And now we get our first look at a guy who's been around the block a time or two. He will not be rattled today.
And that changes things for a defensive coordinator, because normally when you get the young guys, you get the rookies, you throw all the exotic blitzes at them and looks they haven't seen. But this guy, he's seen it all.
Here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six from Bengals TV. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll look to throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
10 yards still left on second down. look to throw again. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Browns a 1st down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And the kickoff sails out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty.
You can see the looks on the faces of the rest of the team. You have one job to do. Just kick the ball and play.
Well, that's exactly right, Charles. The kicker, this is just inexcusable.
Absolutely inexcusable. Everyone out there slugging it out for the entire game. Execute your job.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Let's go! 3-19!
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. They'll set up a throw, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
The intended receiver was Trey Mason, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They send Green to the left on his own. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. All right, I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the pass.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And now look at him go. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. 89 yards. And once again, the Browns are back in front. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Find nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. Well, so this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the 3rd quarter. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run here with Mason. And some room to work. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Trey Mason, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bengals take possession. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
He's got the completion to Strong. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jalen Strong, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Trying to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
They'll run again with Mason. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now they run. It's Mason. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Now Mason. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 2nd down.
run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at about the 14.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Hey. 4 down.
Mason. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll... Second down. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll drop to throw. Gets it to Strong. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Jalen Strong with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. That time a 9-play drive, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Browns are back within a score. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Back to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll come out in the pistol. He's back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended, down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it makeable for their kicker? All those things come into play here, and it turns out they don't get it done.
So for the Bengals, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long, Cincinnati.